Hello, everybody. I am now into the habit of what you call a cold open, where we just throw ourselves straight into vidIQ Tuesday channel audit live streams with your host, myself, Rob Wilson, here at vidIQ Towers headquarters. Might just be a bedroom in someone's house. I'm not entirely sure, but here we are. Welcome, everybody. Say hellos in your chats. And also say hello to our esteemed co-host, Dan, joining us here. Shocked, as always, that he has to appear on a live stream and talk to the wonderful vidIQ crew. Dan, how's it going?
I think someone's in my house doing a live stream in the other room.
Yes. Dan.
Yeah, it's going good. How are you?
I am very well, thank you. I have already started my Black Friday purchases. About an hour ago, I bought a DJI Neo, which is the lightest drone out at the moment, 130 grams, so you can fly it legally. But also, it comes with goggles, so you can fly it first person. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this for about 7 minutes until I crash it, and then it's all over. That's my big Black Friday purchase. What have you got anything in mind for Black Friday?
Yeah, I bought, because it's the cheapest it's ever been, I bought a PS5 finally.
Ooh, welcome to the club.
Yeah, there's not a lot of games on it because I don't know. I don't play a lot of the big solo hits, unfortunately. But Spider-Man, like, it's kind of like a huge seller.
Just started Spider-Man 2.
Same, yep.
Beautiful game. Amazing. The set pieces just are so, like, I got tension. Like I got chills.
Yeah,
like, man, this is exciting stuff.
I'm past like the beginning thing. Like I think I'm out of the tutorial basically.
Yeah.
And that's where I stopped. But it's incredible. And then I want to eventually get Astrobot. It's on sale. But yeah, that was my big purchase for myself this year because it's just I don't know if it will get cheaper for a long time. So that was great.
Well, yeah, do let us know if you have any big Black Friday purchases coming up. Maybe we'll talk about the last 5 minutes or something, because I know just a few minutes into this, 2.5 minutes into this, you're already thinking, is this actually a channel audit live stream? Because I'm seeing no evidence of channel audits. So we will jump into them right now. If you are a regular here, then you may have noticed we're going with a slightly different angle with these channel audits at the moment, whereby you fill out a form, but the form has a question. And the question is, what do you want us to focus on? And Dan, you'll be pleased to hear I updated the forms this week to say, please don't say more views, more subscribers, be specific. And I think people have taken on that advice.
Good.
So the first person we're going to audit this week is Sadiq Umar. Right. And their question basically is, if I can find it here, they want us to look at titles. So that's what we're going to do for this channel with 15,000 subscribers and 170 videos. And we'll just read out some examples. 2 most reliable ways I know to make money online as a beginner. The hard truth about online business. Top 12 skills for virtual assistants. Can you build multiple online incomes at once? That's an example of the titles on offer here. What do you think, Dan?
These titles are nice and simple and clear. They're not clickbaity in the sense that they're kind of like burying any leads. I based on the thumbnail and everything and the success of the channel, I assume that this creator is not like over promising and under delivering or anything like that. I think overall these titles for a channel like this are exactly what I would expect. I know they're going to want some advice. They said titles, please. They want us to focus on that. They want to upgrade and level up their titles, which is, it's kind of difficult to do because these are so standard and so good that I almost want to say the only criticism I could levy, and I don't even know if this is good criticism, is that maybe the space is so competitive that this channel is like a lot I've seen before. And the titles kind of speak to that, but that's not anything you can necessarily like do much about. Like how do you differentiate yourself in this space?
Well, unless you come up with really inventive, more intriguing storytelling, perhaps based titles, which would
topics
pull them away from what I think is pretty much search-based intent titles, which again, I think Dan and you will agree that that's totally fine. Nothing wrong with that, but it does put you into the search-based bracket with less views typically, because 70% of views come from search and suggested, and already a well-established niche, so therefore very competitive. Yes.
I think when you talk titles, you have to kind of talk topics. And when you talk topics for a channel like this that's already kind of nailed their content bucket, I start to think, are there other content buckets? And we've been talking about this for vidIQ for a while, and we've been testing all kinds of things. So for example, we do videos similar to this in that it's like how to grow your channel, how to get 1,000 subscribers. So we have a lot of search-based videos, and that's like one bucket, right? But there's also other buckets we've dabbled in. For example, we have interviewed people who have seen like their own kind of success stories on YouTube play out, and we'll talk to them in the context of YouTube education. We're trying to teach our audience the lessons that this other channel has learned. Maybe that's a content bucket for this creator. So instead of titles, now I'm just talking about topics. But they're giving us a lot of tips on how to like make money, have multiple income streams, things like that. Are there any people who you could maybe interview on your channel or talk to and tell their story about how they use some of these tools, how they make money? Like that's like the best advice I think I can give in terms of branching out, because I think title wise, this channel's kind of nailed it for this content bucket.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Dan. To add to that, perhaps what they could do is revisit the most popular titles they have, and perhaps there's a button here appearing that's remix. Now, if I press this, it's going to remix it for YouTube education, I think. So let's just test this out. I'm trying to remember what topic we've got this set to. It's actually for baking and chocolate cake, right? So this creator could put in their details, which is like virtual assistant making money online, and then it would remix it for titles relevant to your niche. But I'm not sure if you even need that. I'm looking at this one, for example, the most popular video. What could be an alternative here? Roadmap to earning your first $100 in 10 days. You know, you're just changing one of the parameters, but using the same titling structure might be an approach here. And you seem to have great success when you have for beginners courses. There's a couple here which are ranking very highly. So if there are any topics you haven't hit yet, then do look at them. But I think other than that, Dan, this feels like a bit of a template channel for me in how to create search-based titles that have a little bit of value to them. So like how to do something fast, or make this amount of money, or for a particular type of user. I think all of these are fantastic titles, and anybody in the same space, search-based content, might want to use this channel as a bit of a reference point, combined with the fantastic thumbnails. I think there's a very high quality. I've noticed a bit of branding here with a red t-shirt that they're always wearing. Is it pink? What color would you call that? It's kind of a combination of red and pink. Like a magenta? Magenta t-shirt. But yeah, very high quality packaging here.
I don't know if that's magenta. I'm not good at colors outside the initial like red and blue and stuff like that. No, this channel is fantastic. So I think it kind of sets the tone for the audits going forward, because we have like now this really good solid example of a channel that's growing at a decent rate, that has nice titles and nice thumbnails and knows their topic really, really well.
Let's try. Ooh, was that really loud? Jeez. I do apologize. Goodness me. I thought that was loud.
What?
Let me try that again. That's better. All right, let's try another channel. This is the first gaming channel that's submitted this week. They're called Matthew Satisfaction. And their question is, would appreciate if you look at mainly shorts, but also the profile pic, banner pic, about page. Still working on what type of long form content we'll be making. There's a lot of questions there, Dan, but I think let's tackle the simple things here: the banner and the banner and the channel profile picture. They both look kind of standard for me, and at this point in the YouTube journey, I don't think they need to be updated because they're not critical things at the moment. Like, the content is far more critical in nailing that at this point. Would you agree?
I would agree. I mean, if they want a couple tips, I think the purple on blue is difficult to read.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, so you kind of like a dark text and like the banner too. You have a light and a dark kind of banner, but then the text stays the same color throughout. So there's some like readability that's going on here for me. I think what would help a channel like this, especially if you have your name, is like get like an avatar of something. Like see if you can go like on Fiverr or something and find an artist that could make you an avatar that kind of is like some kind of like character, you know what I mean? The cartoony version of your face, or something like that. Like just kind of like put a face to the name, even if you're not going to do your real face. That would be my advice there.
Okay, shorts. I'm seeing a lot of The Last of Us. And because these are not custom thumbnails, I'm wondering how much transformation there is on these. And looking at the titles, I feel as if these might be just clips from the game, cutscenes. But I'll click on one and we'll find out. Let's try Ellie and David's Deer Gathering.
Who's there? Come out!
Hello? We just want to talk.
Any sudden moves and I put one right between your eyes. Ditto for buddy boy over there. What do you
How
want?
long is this? Oh, this is a long shot as well. This is right up to 3 minutes.
Here's my friend James.
Right, let's pause it there.
Yeah, let's pause it. So I think once you run out of The Last of Us cutscenes, you're going to struggle for content.
That's long of a shot of it.
Normally my advice would be cutscenes, like anyone can do that. Maybe you should put more personality, blah, 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 blah. If this is one of those channels that plays games like from back to front, you know, maybe they don't do commentary. So maybe there isn't much of their own commentary to add from like clips of their long videos. I don't know. Like, I think their value prop in their banner so that they do like full playthroughs of games. And the fact that these clips seem to be without any kind of commentary tells me they might be doing full playthroughs with no commentary, which is very popular. Yeah. So I guess all they can do is rely on, you know, whatever the game provides them. But I would still say even with no commentary, there's going to be like action and moments like that you could possibly capture while you're physically holding the controller and playing the game. So letting the cutscene play out, you're just kind of reliant on someone else's storytelling ability. And I would say that there's a lot you can do with shorts, even if you're not going to add your own commentary or things like that. It's hard. It's hard to even think of examples, but I know it can be done if you use music, if you use captions, if you use just elements that are like you could do edits where you're setting things up as kind of like ironic, like I don't know, maybe something is said at the beginning of the game and then the character contradicts themselves later. There's like just things you could be a little more creative, I guess, with these rather than just, oh, here's a clip, here's a cutscene, and hopefully you have enough of these planned to where you don't run out of shorts, because your cadence is going to slow down quite a bit once you finish going through all these clips.
I'm going to try quickly this one, PS5 versus PS5
Here we go.
Pro, because maybe this has a bit more transformational aspects to it as a comparison.
Yeah.
I know that's not what you
well,
yeah,
come on now. Come on.
It's funny. Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about, being more creative. So now we've, like, I don't know how often writing a joke like that is difficult. Okay. Like, that's really good. And the PS5 Pro has been pooped on by everybody in the industry because it's like such a small incremental increase for the money you pay, right? That's the joke. So I like that a lot, but you know, that is what makes it takes it from, oh, here's just a cutscene to here's my unique take on something going on or whatever. And so brilliant work from somebody who isn't really putting a lot of commentary out there, it seems.
You want more of that, Dan, don't you?
I want more of that, but I know I respect that was like probably a one-off for them. Like they just had a funny idea and they decided to go with it. But that's what I'm talking about with, like, if you're working within those limitations, you need to find ways to be more creative so you're not fully reliant on just someone's cutscene. Yeah,
it's a case of most of these are just heavily reliant on the game itself, and it means that the audience really is just watching Last of Us clips, not the creator's interpretation of the game, whereas this one here is a unique perspective, and that adds voice and uniqueness to the channel.
Right.
As you said, you're not really focusing on long form yet, but it is just more Last of Us stuff. As you say, Dan, maybe some full playthroughs here, or they're taking all of the cutscenes and putting them into a movie. Again, like I've just been done before. I'm not sure how much of an audience you're going to build up out of that, but you know, this might be more interesting. 63 shorts, best to least viewed. Oh, so you've just collated all of your shorts together in one long video as well. Okay, I've never seen that done before.
It's interesting. Yeah, so I think it looks like they're really, really focused on cutscenes. But again, it's kind of that matter. It's kind of like if you were focused on, and there's channels that do this very successfully, but if you were making content as a fan channel for like another big Twitch streamer or YouTuber, you're reliant on someone else's work, and you can edit things so your interpretation is in there, but it makes it hard for us to say like, well, here's a great growth strategy for you, because you are completely dependent on the success of something else or somebody else. So it's kind of a risky way to do a channel.
Moving on to Wonderful Nature, and the creator here, Dan, wanted us to focus on their thumbnails. So first of all, Wonderful Nature, welcome to YouTube. You have 2 videos so far from 2 weeks ago and a couple of shorts. I can zoom in here and look at the 2 thumbnails that we have. Any like initial first impressions here?
First thumbnail, I'm not getting Paradise vibes. I'm hoping that there's more they can work with. If we click on the video, is there like a finished... Okay, you've already kind of looked at this.
So I'm going to do something here. I'm going to just mouse over the thumbnail and then let me know your thoughts.
Okay.
So that's the contents. That's the thumbnail.
Okay, so now I'm wondering where this photo came from.
Yeah.
It could be an AI like thumbnail maybe, and that's fine, but it doesn't represent what I'm going to get when I click on the video is the problem.
Expectation versus reality here, I think. I'm pretty sure this thumbnail is not part of the video. And if you are building a turtle pond, I would say no matter what the end result is, you should show that rather than an AI generated image, in my opinion.
If it's
especially
AI.
If it's like a turtle paradise. Where's the turtle would be another question.
Where's the turtle? Where's the paradise? Because
yeah,
I don't know what that is. It looks like just a big wall in a pond or a tank.
I'm going to click on it. I'll mute it and I'm just going to scan through it. Like, I don't think...
But even this with a hand coming in this tub, to me would look better. Like,
I agree. That'd be more authentic.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more of an authentic experience. And I think I was confused by the initial thumbnail. Oh, they just uploaded.
They just launched another video, yeah.
I was confused by the initial thumbnail, but I'm less confused. Even though there's not much going on in that tank we saw at the beginning, I'm less confused by it. It does look like someone's actually physically building something, whereas you're trying to show something that just physically does not exist, right? Especially in your place. Maybe that's someone else's turtle pond. I have no idea, but that's the big problem. So what about the next one?
So how would you pronounce this? Terrarium?
Terrarium.
Terrarium?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, thumbnail. This looks like well produced, although I think, should we just quickly check? How many fingers are there? 1, 2,
Oh,
3,
there
4.
is, I think, an extra knuckle.
I think there might be an extra finger there.
Yeah.
And then again, that is quite different to the thumbnail. Now
So
that is a cool shot.
That could be stock footage.
Could it?
I'm
Yeah.
only accusing them of that because we haven't seen this level of quality from the rest of the video.
I think you're right.
But I like this. This is still nice. The lighting's really good, and this looks DIY. This looks like somebody is building something. Why can't this be the thumbnail?
Yeah, I think
yeah.
Go ahead. No,
I was gonna say we should have a short conversation, I think, about using like AI to make thumbnails, because we have a tool that can help with this. And if you want to go full AI, you definitely can. But I think you should use it as a tool. I think it can make really nice backgrounds and you can add your own layers and elements to it. But I feel like this creator just kind of is using the tool out of the box and not considering what a potential viewer who's never seen your channel before is going to expect when they see that thumbnail, especially if it looks really, really sharp and good. If you're going in there and you're getting a completely different experience, you've now made something that's inauthentic in the eyes of the viewer. Perception's reality for them. If they perceive the video as inauthentic, they're going to go away. So you really have to be careful when you use these tools. You need to make sure you're using them in a way that makes sense and doesn't detract from what it is you're actually doing in the content. Because I honestly think these videos could have more views if you were just taking the really, really nice shots that you have in your actual video and making those part of the thumbnail.
I'm going to channel the viewer's perspective here when I come here to Wonderful Nature and see this thumbnail. Okay, watch this before you get any catfish. All right. Nice detailed image of a catfish. I'm going to click on it. Let's see. Oh, now actually, I feel as if that is a fairer reflection of a thumbnail.
Yeah.
I don't feel as if I'm being misled here as much as I was in the first two thumbnails. There's some more believability here.
Yeah.
So I think this one is fine. I think the thumbnail versus the first 10 seconds are acceptable in this case.
It looks like more of an educational video about catfish. So you have like a lot of options for different footage you can use. That actually does look like a catfish. I see the thumbnail's a little dark, but yeah, that's other than that, that would be my only critique of that one. I like that one a lot better. Genuinely.
But I guess what we're ultimately saying, Dan, is I guess don't be embarrassed about this, because this, I mean, if you're saying that you can, if this is what you want the viewer to end up building, this is kind of a package you want to include at the very beginning. So, because what I was trying to get to with a previous example, but what ended up the thumbnail in the video weren't too bad. It's like I click on this thumbnail and I see this, and it's like, oh, this isn't what I expected. And I'm gone within like 3 seconds because there's just such a disconnect between the packaging and the hook.
Yeah, that is the thing. People, and if you, so 64 views, perhaps those views came in, YouTube kind of found an audience for it. It tried it out on a reptile enthused audience, and people were discouraged when they clicked. And so they left, and YouTube ceased sharing it. That can absolutely happen.
So I think to summarize for Wonderful Nature, let's embrace weirdly some more amateur style thumbnails that more closely reflect the product inside the content, I would say. You have demonstrated here that there is a possibility to blend AI thumbnails with content, but you've really got to think about the click on the thumbnail versus the first few seconds of what the viewer is seeing, and if they kind of match up in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
All right, move on to the next channel. This is Pass Unpacked. And what the creator wanted us to do here, Dan, is watch one of their videos, I believe, and the quality of it. So just a quick introduction. I've done 300 videos at this point. Sorry, they've done 18 videos, 350 subscribers. They're getting some spiky views. Like there's an outlier here with 22,000 views, impressive, but others with just a couple of hundred. Is there any particular video you would like me to click on?
So either the latest one, or you could do that 1935 Chevy Sky Sign, because I got a lot of views for them, and I like the thumbnail. I think they've done a really good job at like selling these videos. So I'd be curious to see.
I think they, from what I remember, I think they wanted us to watch the latest one. So we'll watch this one first, and then maybe go back to the Chevrolet one. All right. Let's get in there.
6 planes, 6 crews, 1 daring challenge. Fly from England to Australia in 30 days. The prize, a fortune. The risk, their lives. By the end of this race, planes would be scattered across jungles, orchards, and oceans. Engines would fail, maps would go missing, and for some, the cost would be their lives. This is the story of the Great Air Race of 1919.
Pause it there at 25 seconds. That's your hook.
Okay. The editing is, I think, of a good standard. I think there's room for improvement, but I don't have anything super specific. Like the one thing that caught my eye was like that clip art bag of money that dropped down. It kind of like drops down, and then before the scene changes, it just kind of disappears abruptly.
Where was that? Which?
It's not on for very long.
I'll mute it and play it and see if we can figure out where that was.
It's just little things like that I'm noticing. That I liked. The plane kind of being dragged across the map.
Oh, that bit.
And then it disappears.
Right, okay. Yeah.
It's little things like that. So this is me nitpicking, right? Like, I'm really just trying to like see where's the room for improvement. And that to me was like something that stood out. And I noticed after that, like a lot of the stuff they're doing is just kind of like slow zooms and pans. And so I think this is not for your next video. This is for your next 100 videos. I think you just kind of continue to learn and develop as a video editor so that you can like just slowly like kind of amp up the production quality. And the reason it's important is because they don't have like a person on camera on this channel, right? Like this is a faceless channel. We could talk about the voice and stuff too. That might be worth discussing. But the big thing I noticed was that like there's room for improvement, but it looks good. It's not bad. It's just incremental improvement.
So here's what I noticed. I thought this was a good example of an AI channel or a channel that's using a little bit of AI here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Because this image, I think, is clearly AI because like, what on earth are them up there?
It's like, pterodactyls and planes kind of got merged together.
And also, I also spotted another AI image somewhere. That could be, although that's probably a map. That I think that one.
Yeah,
that's another AI. So they're kind of when they need like some B-roll. Like sometimes in my editing, I write needs B-roll here, and the editor just fills it in. Yeah. I feel as if there are just certain gaps in their video where they need to add the B-roll, but I'm kind of happy for them to do that because they're also using original images and footage scattered out throughout the video as well. So this is a long way from what just feels like an AI generated piece of content. I feel as if there is a lot of human intervention going into it. Did you want to maybe talk about the sound then a little bit? If we play
I wanted, so in regards to the images, and then we got like 3 comments in a row very quickly saying this is just AI. And I think that's, again,
I think that's a bit harsh. I think this is not AI.
I was being more generous with this one because it felt like there was more effort going on. I feel like they're using AI tools, but they are not fully using AI throughout the entire thing. I think that's why some of their videos have taken off, because they've taken the time to understand the audience a little bit. I'm hoping, because it's based on history, that they're fact checking everything that they're getting.
Sure, that's
all very important, but we haven't watched enough to say whether or not they are. My thing is, the less you can use that makes people have that initial response that I just pointed out in the comments, the better success you could have going forward. You can use it as a tool. It can be helpful in a lot of ways, but if it feels like it's obvious and it busts the trust that the audience might be trying to develop with you, that's where things get a bit dicey. And that's why I pointed those comments out, because people see that. And what if those comments that I pulled out of the crowd were actually clicking on your video and they weren't in this live stream, would they have left immediately? And I think yes. I think that the reason they're even commenting is because they're like, no, and they want to leave. So that's just if the warning signs are there, I think that's what you have to contend with if you're going to.
Let's listen to the audio again then, because AI or not, let's listen.
6 planes, 6 crews, 1 daring challenge. Fly from England to Australia in 30 days. The prize, a fortune. The risk, their lives. By the end of this race, planes would be scattered across jungles, orchards, and oceans.
What do you think, Dan?
The voice?
Yeah.
It's not really dynamic enough.
Yeah, I agree.
I would challenge them to go to a place like Fiverr or Upwork or something, take your script and everything, and let a voiceover artist do it. It doesn't cost that much, and you'll have a much better sounding product, and you can get someone who's consistent too. You can get, like, if you like someone that you're using, that could be like a very consistent way to have voiceover. If you're not willing to put your own voice on it, I think more creators should get a microphone, but that's just me.
So I think, are we both agreeing that is an AI voice?
I think so.
A good AI voice, like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 out of AI voice, but it lacks that kind of dynamism, the peaks and flows of the sentences. It sounds a bit flat. And so again, that's another lean into the AI aspect of the content.
Yes. So I guess the takeaway here is that this channel, I've seen a lot of like channels utilizing AI and doing like a faceless channel kind of vibe. All right. I've seen a lot of these channels now, and this is one of the better ones. I'm seeing outliers, and I think the reason there are outliers is because, again, they know their audience. They are tapping into actual historical relevant stories and impressive feats and all these things. And so it's not, I do not think, my opinion here is that I don't think this creator is going all in and just trying to fully automate the process. I think that there are AI tools that have enabled them to do something they were not able to do before, which can be cool. But I think for certain aspects of this content, you should see it as training wheels. How can we maybe make the voiceover better? How can we rely less heavily on the images that people saw and went, oh no, like those are the things. Like I think you can use these tools as a springboard to develop as a creator and become more and more independent of them and use them simply as like things that improve your workflow. You know what I mean? But that's just me. That's how I see this. And I think this is way more positive for a faceless channel than I've seen in the past.
Let's do 15 seconds on this one and then move on.
I like that, actually.
Oh,
okay. I don't like the second one.
Yeah, I think you can get away with one type out. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
gosh. Okay.
Come on. now we're wondering why this video is the outlier.
Yes. Yeah.
That's just original.
Deal for a skyscraper. That's what
skyscraper. How does that?
By day, this sparkling giant.
Is this AI?
A lot of care.
It messed up one of the words.
Did it?
Flies? No, sir.
But it has like a
ye
olde style dynamism to it.
It might not be. It's.
They're a hard-working crew who shinny up and down a lot.
But I guess here's another thing though. Like this voice is completely different to the other video. So then it loses, I guess, its consistency and its brand identity. That could be another challenge for the creator. Typically, like a channel will have not a face to the brand, but like a voice to the brand in these faceless channels, and we kind of lose that.
Yeah,
no.
I think there's an opportunity for someone to be in this video talking about this. This is really cool, and I think it's just kind of a random historical thing, you know. So this sign is obviously impressive and significant, and a lot of people clicked on it. And I really wish there was a creator on the screen saying, like, you know, you're not going to believe what they were able to achieve. Like, this was 1935, blah, blah, blah. Like, instead of relying fully on this announcer, whether it's AI or an old video or whatever, I think you should have used a clip of it, right? And added your own spin and your own commentary and talked about how billboards are created today and how this is so impressive for the time period. There's like a whole video essay here. And we're not really getting that, you know. There's like, I'm just seeing an opportunity on the table. It's cool that this video got 22,000 views for them, but I wonder if it could have gotten even more. You know, I guess I'm greedy.
Dan sees opportunities. I only see this. It is the manual version of Claudia today, and here is how it works. We have currently 212 submissions for non-gaming channels. We put that number into the claw, and said claw then picks one of those numbers, like so. And the channel is number 18. We take that number, we type it in here. We should have a YouTube address, URL, and they want us to look at thumbnails and titles. So basically the packaging of their content. We will endeavor to do that right now, Dan, with the channel calling themselves CrissCross Dash. Try saying that quickly 10 times. All right. I immediately fall in love with that thumbnail for some reason.
Yep.
I don't know, it just looks cool to me.
I like
it's
that
like
a lot.
It's like miniaturized, but somehow blown up in some way, and it's cool.
Maybe tilt shift going on there.
Sure, whatever that is.
I think that's what's called. It's an effect you can do in Photoshop. Anyway, yes, already we get a sense of exactly what this channel is. They're building Hot Wheels tracks through
POV Hot Wheels.
They're potentially their home, definitely their yard. I love that they've done some stuff for Halloween. I've seen those giant skeletons. I don't know. I don't know if you've seen any of those in person. You go to like a Home Depot or something, you'll have those like towering 9-foot plus skeletons, and it looks like they've run a track through that. So they found a way to like add.
Yeah, this does look cool, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that one. Look
wow.
at that. That is, I mean, even if that is doctored a little bit, it does look cool. And there's a reason I think, well, that's got so many views.
Yes. I'm now thinking if this channel is like asking us, what do they say, titles and thumbnails?
Yeah.
So that is right there, your answer, I think. If you can do more action shots in, through these videos, I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't make action shots that aren't actually like potentially going to happen in the content. But it would encourage me to change the way I build these tracks to include more jumps, which would be a bit harder. But if you manage to do that consistently, like here's the thing. Why do videos get views like that on YouTube? Why do videos like that do so well? It's because they look impressive. And if the content delivers on that impressiveness, the content goes viral. So that video, relative to the size of this channel, went viral. And it's because something impressive probably had that is reflected in the content. They probably set up a jump and the little car made it over the jump. And that's cool. People like that. So I would be now adding, they want a title and thumbnail advice, but you can't do that without saying in the video, physically in the video, you are going to take the time to make more impressive jumps and flips and things happen so that you can get action shots and things like that and have more viral potential.
The two questions I had, Dan, are, first of all, with these literal POV thumbnails, I don't often advise this, but might it be worth just adding POV in one of the corners so that the potential viewer instantly goes, oh, I get it now? Because I feel as if we were drawn towards this one immediately because it just looked cool. And then for these next ones, it took me a second or two to work out, right, okay, this is... It doesn't say it in the title either. So I didn't realize it was... The reason I know it's POV is because we came to the channel and we could understand that it was POV, but maybe from the packaging, it doesn't immediately click that this is point of view. So my question is, might it be worth including POV in a thumbnail, like in some negative space? Or do you think these action shots, where you might not necessarily see this shot in the video, but it gives the viewer a quick idea of what the content is about? Even it's a POV, but we're showing you a side-on shot for the thumbnail. Yeah,
it could be a split screen as well, especially if you have set up multiple camera angles where one of them is the car and one of them's like a third part. Like, okay, yeah, so sometimes it is and sometimes it's not POV.
Right. Let me. There might be some Nintendo music going on here. Oh no, I don't think that's Nintendo music. Nice little bit of ASMR there with the rolling of the wheels.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is exactly what I expected.
How do you film this? I'm just realizing they must have to do this multiple times to get all of these shots.
Oh yeah, they're definitely that, or they have multiple cameras. But it would probably be cheaper to do like a couple runs. It looks like sometimes they use a string to kind of help the car along.
That's cool.
And yeah, this is. It does look cool, and it must take a lot of time to set up. And I think people see that in the thumbnail. This is why we say the word authenticity so much. Like when the thumbnail is authentic to what's going on, and it happens to be really impressive, boom, views just all day, every day.
I'm wondering if there might be opportunities here to combine the two. You know, where you have a POV, but also you record it again from different angles.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe this is exciting, or maybe it's a little boring to just have this same shot all of the time. I don't know. You'd have to maybe look at the audience retention. A VD graph would really tell you much about the. Oh, what? How is that possible?
You got people swimming with it.
That's incredible. That is so cool.
Wow. I really do think this channel is pretty next level. I
agree.
I think there's plenty of opportunities to increase your production value beyond what's going on, which is already impressive. This channel, if they continue to incrementally improve over time, we're looking at a channel with 1 million subscribers in the future.
I did see, I think Vicky brought up some of the comments that were saying like, this is fire and this is a really cool idea. So I think, you know, beyond the thumbnails that we've almost exclusively focused on, this idea is just magic. It's brilliant. Should we have a quick look at the titles, like Jumping into Fall with Mario on Hot Wheels? I'm wondering, like, should they just be more literal in their titles and say Hot Wheels POV? They make it more search based.
Yeah, there's more of these videos out there. So yeah, you've a lot to. So aqua park track with waterfalls and water slides.
Okay, so maybe thumbnail wise, a wider angle shots might be useful. These look as if they've got a bit more thought just put into the setup of a thumbnail.
Yeah,
just a little bit more. Come on. Come on.
That's funny.
Very cool. Very cool.
There's so much you could do, and it's cool. Like there's a whole niche there that you can use for inspiration. So yeah, if this channel sticks to it and they continue to again incrementally improve, don't stress yourself out trying to put all these tips into the next video, but try to improve 1% every single time. Can you add, like Rob said, you film it twice, once POV, then take the camera off the car and then do another run third person, so you can get multiple shots and you're cutting between them. And so when the car goes around a certain turn, you have a second shot of that turn. You know, it offers replay opportunities. That could be an incremental improvement. And we already know you have the cameras and stuff.
So yeah, like at this point, this is perhaps a bit of a lull.
Yeah.
In like, how can you make this look more interesting? So there might be this angle, and it cuts to another, like a side angle of a car being pulled up, and so on and so forth. And then you might want other shots where it is like a dual cam. You've got look at that subscribe. You've got on one half of the screen, you've got the POV, and then on the other side, you've got like another view of it from different angles. But I'm now thinking down, like, just how long does it take to set up this stuff?
A lot, yeah.
Like,
so
incredible.
You'd want to get the most out of it. I would want to be filming that like 4 or 5 times in different ways, just so I have all the footage I could possibly need before I tear it down for the day.
Those are the type of channels I love auditing. Like, just like, it's just a fresh perspective, something we've never seen before. Like, just, yeah, well done. I'm going to give you, like, I don't know what celebration to give you, so I'm just going to give you that one. Just fantastic. You've reinvigorated our passion for channel auditing there. For the next 3 years now, I feel revitalized.
3 years.
Maybe. Right, let's pick a gaming channel. And we are at 172.
Yeah, this could be a backslide for us, depending on this channel.
We'll see.
3 years of future channel audits are about to go.
All right, Dan. Come on. Have hope. 65. And so, the quality of my videos and how to improve and make them more discoverable. Okay. Come on. There we go.
Oh, that's frustrating.
There we go. Right, we're in. We are looking at YupYupTRP. Any ideas what TRP means?
Click on the description where it says more. This is where I make videos on all different games. I do stupid video game challenges most of the time, but I also sometimes do playthroughs and speedruns.
Okay, let's jump into one of these videos, Dan. Pick your poison.
I've seen a lot of these style challenges before. I think it's cool. It's difficult. This is like a lot of time goes into making videos like this, and they're all a risk. Let's see. Let's look at the latest one. It was done
Minecraft,
ago.
but it gets worse every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Minecraft is too easy, so I made something I call the Wheel of Hell. Every 5 minutes, I have to spin this wheel that makes the game more and more.
Dan's already got thoughts.
You are so close. It's just a little bit slow. It's moving too slow. I think I've seen videos like this where, because this creator is following the playbook of a lot of creators that I like to watch. Doug, for example. So if you go to Doug's channel, the intro that they're kind of like doing here is reminiscent of that, but his just have more punch when he explains the challenge. The music and his voice are just loud and like, today we're doing this. And he explains exactly what's happening just like you are, but faster. And because, like, think about the audience you're catering to, they're ready to get into the action, but you have to set it up because you're not just playing Minecraft, you're playing it in a unique way. So it requires an intro. You have to set it up, but you got to do that fast and in a way that makes it seem like, oh my gosh, like I am ready to sit down for a half hour and like see if this person can do this. That sounds so fun. But right now we're not getting the energy. You're kind of like, Minecraft is easy, so I created a wheel to make it harder. And it's just so like it's like tired. It's like you finish the video and you're exhausted and you're like, oh, I need to record my intro. Minecraft was easy, and so I made a wheel. Oh my god, just watch it, please.
Let's carry on. That's
the vibe I'm getting.
All right.
Until I literally can't play anymore. It can add random mods, randomize my controls, change my language, teleport me anywhere.
What music is this?
And even reset my run.
It's Nintendo something.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Is it from Zelda? Smash Brothers. Anyway, that just took me. Yeah, that took me out of the video a little bit because I was thinking I've heard that music from somewhere, but they do have a Mario character on Minecraft. There is that. It's all point POV, isn't it?
Like Nintendo music has just become like something I'm seeing everywhere. It doesn't even matter what game it is anymore.
Oh, I hear it every 20 seconds when my wife's flipping through TikTok, and it's always like the Mario Kart music or something. Like,
yeah.
What is she watching? Oh, it's just some beauty tutorial. Why are they using the Mario music? I don't know. Anyway. So any more thoughts there, Dan? Do you think it's still a little like too pedestrian paced? Is that what you're basically saying here?
But it's so close. Like it just needs that like a bit of energy to get me going, because you're asking me to sit down for a half hour and every 5 minutes the game gets more intense. And right now, it doesn't feel like the creator is super into it. Again, I'm coming from the perspective of someone who's never seen your channel. Maybe your audience is like locked in, and that's great.
Maybe it's intentional. I was thinking that way as you were bringing up that critique.
Yeah, and I don't think you need to be like Mr. Beast levels of loud and obnoxious or anything. I'm not trying to push you in that direction, but I do think that with a bit faster paced editing and a bit more of a broadcaster voice, you know, it's going to be more exciting. It's just going to sound like you are way more into it.
All right. I'm trying to remember what else they wanted us to look at. It was the thumbnails and the titles, right? I think I get this idea of challenges, and I think they're all classic video game challenges, right? Gets worse every 5 minutes. I try and beat the boss with literally nothing. I survived X number of days with some severe limitation. I think these are all good, well tried and tested ideas. So is it a question of they need to find a new idea or angle? Or are we saying that at this point in their journey, 60 videos in, 600 subscribers, each video is getting hundreds of views, which is about in line with their subscriber size? I think that they're pretty much on point right now.
They're really on point. I would say there's like the one other big challenge with titles and thumbnails for videos like this is a sense of understanding, because people want to watch this if they understand what the challenge is without clicking on the video. So fist only stands out to me. I survived 1,000 days with only my fist. What's another way of saying that? No tools. You survive Minecraft with no tools. Fist only is like such a weird way of putting it, and I think a lot of people would more easily understand the video if it said no tools. And in the latest video, it says random mod added. But in the example, you gave us all kinds of different things that could happen, but you kind of went with like one that was more overarching, random mod added. What if it was more like a specific limitation, you know, like screen, like play upside down or something like that? So all those little bits of text matter because it paints a picture for the audience when they see the thumbnail and they see the title. They're like, oh, I get it. And that's what you need, those light bulb moments, and they're difficult, but that's what I would practice.
All right, let's try another channel. We are looking at, what? You're right. Why can I not get the last character? Evertech reviews. Where's that gone? Retention in last video. We will do exactly that and only that. So, approaching 1,000 subscribers, 43 videos. Their latest video is, wow, they do screens at 480 hertz now. Isn't that overkill? Like, surely, anyway. So, Dan, this has 2,000 views. It's a bit of an outlier. It says, they're getting pretty solid views again for the channel size. It's pretty strong. So let's look at a hook. Maybe a bit of something in the middle, and then maybe a bit of the end. Here we go.
480 hertz is about as fast as monitors go. But can you even notice a difference? Well, yeah, but it kind of depends on what kind of monitor you are coming from. Compared to a 240 hertz, There is an improvement, but is it worth the upgrade?
All right, what do you reckon?
Yeah, if I was looking for a monitor and trying to make a decision about, hey, like I'm looking at this really high refresh rate kind of monitor, I would want opinions like this, and I think they set it up like they're going to give their opinions. They've obviously tested something. There's a lot going on. The intro is great.
They presented a few questions, which, as you say, are the questions the viewer might be interested in. I think this is a bit of a unique circumstance where maybe you'd like to try and demonstrate the concept of 480 hertz, but ironically, everybody's going to be watching this on monitors of 120 hertz. So you literally cannot demonstrate what you're talking about, which I guess is a bit of a challenge there. So what might another thing that you could throw into the conversation here? Maybe price. Like, I don't know how much this is, so I have no idea if I have a budget for this. And I don't know, maybe you could add in a comparison, like, is it worth upgrading from a 128 monitor, which is $300 less? So I'd like add a bit of a stake there, or a conflict. That was perhaps anything that was missing. And also, I did think that the actual B-roll was a little generic, because I think from what I remember, it was just 3 shots. The static one. Oh, no, it wasn't. Sorry, I didn't see that one. I mustn't have been really paying attention to the number of...
The kettle at the end was a little confusing.
So now there's a little zoom in and then a little zoom out. Yeah, maybe it does take you a little while to realize that it's still looking at a monitor.
It's not like moving. So everything else, it's about refresh rate and you know, how many hertz. And I would expect to see like gaming movement the whole time.
I'm going to go into the middle here. Let's have a look at the bad, so like some problems with it. And we'll watch this for 20 seconds.
Now, that isn't the only drawback, though. And the biggest and most noticeable one to me is a couple of the various software features. The main one of these that I find myself using on my current monitor is the shadow boost feature. And this panel does have a black equalizer setting that attempts to accomplish the same thing, but the implementation here seems pretty poor. When turning it on, it creates a very washed out image.
Oh, there's comparison there between another screen.
Well, it looks pretty gray. It certainly does do the job of making it easier to see in very dark games, but it...
Any thoughts there?
This is the best I think one could do, because like you said, my refresh rate is going to be a challenge, right? Like I'm watching this through your computer right now on my monitor. So that's another layer of hell I'm going through to like see this comparison. But even I can see the difference a little bit, and especially accompanied with the words they're saying, I'm looking for the same things that they're talking about. Oh, it's a little more gray. And I'm looking at the one on the right. I'm like, that one does look a little more washed out than the one on the left. So it adds credibility to what they're saying. A lot of this is going to be because of the type of video it is. It's kind of going to be a trust me, bro, because we're talking about something that's like physical in the room with you. And that's the only way to get the real comparison. So we need tech reviewers to do the work of building up a reputation and saying like, all right, I've tried this. I've done these tests. I know it's hard to see on a YouTube video, but these are the comparisons I can make. And this is the good. This is the bad. I think it's great. I think they're doing a great job.
And we'll check out the outro.
So, would I switch to this monitor? Well, no. And mostly it's because I've come to really enjoy that larger 32-inch size screen with a 4K resolution. For my setup, I value the flexibility that dual mode OLED offers, which handles both 4K workflows and gaming at 240 Hz and still has an option for 480 Hz, even if it is only 1080p.
Okay. Wrap up of their thoughts.
What I think that the content lacks a little bit is a unique style or panache. It feels very by the numbers in terms of a tech review. And this is something that maybe they'll develop over time, whether it's like implementing little jokes or like a really cool way of shooting the tech. I feel as if this is an experience challenge at the moment where they just haven't made enough videos to really start to delve into an experiment. So I guess I was kind of not disconnects. What's the right word? I was kind of losing a bit of interest just because I'm used to other tech channels, big tech channels, having cool lighting in the background or like interesting camera angles or like a certain more B-roll. I can see the foundations of all of his stuff being built, but the creator is just not there yet. But I don't know if it's right to criticize them for that, because I think for where they are in their YouTube journey, they're in a very good place. To get 2,000 views in the first 24 hours on a channel that's got less than 1,000 subscribers, that's really strong.
Really strong. Let's look at this last shot here that we're on, and I'll say this: the room being so dark is not helping this particular shot. You are showing a dark image in a dark room, and it makes it hard to differentiate the monitor from the background of the actual room itself. So I would say details like that also matter in videos like this, if I'm to nitpick, right? And they do want us, I know they want us to look at their outro here, but that was the other thing I was just going to add to that, is when you say panache and everything, like it's kind of missing some things. I think that attention to detail in certain aspects, just certain parts of the video.
Cool thumbnail and title, by the way. Is 480 hertz worth the upgrade? And you say in the thumbnail, you kind of say, not really. So you're creating already a clash of opinion. Perhaps maybe you're giving away too much. That's something you got to think about. But I hope that kind of helped you with the audience retention question that you were really thinking about for this video.
Yeah, were they wanting us to look at their call to action to the next video, or did I misunderstand that?
I think it was just retention in the last video. It's just like watching the video, basically.
Okay, all right.
Which I feel as if we have sufficiently done. And now I think what we're going to do next is we're going to say goodbye to the CLAAAW for today. So Dan, just wave it away. And instead, what we'll do is we will bring out the giveaway tool from StreamYard, which enables us to actually just pick somebody in the chat right now. Oh. All we need is a hashtag to help us pick a channel right now. And Dan, what hashtag do you think we should have?
Pick me.
Right. I'm gonna do pick me.
Pick me.
I'm gonna do pick me 3 times. Yeah, that's more than 200 characters, Dan. So I think it's hashtag pick me 3 times. See if anybody can follow that. You only need to type it once into the chats.
Yeah. In the meantime, should we look at some of these memberships?
I completely forgot about super chats this week. All right. So we have Koifish Gaming, who is our community member of the week, with more than 100 comments on the channel, and being highlighted in the YouTube Studio app, and being a moderator, as I said, for longer than I can remember. Just letting us know, no sub for sub, posting your name, no asking for audits. Thank you, of course. 9 Finger Wrenching is also here and being a member for 80 months. Throwing that street cred with Koifish Gaming, so it's a big membership loving right now, as well as Debbie the Debbie Way Gaming is also here. So you all need sound effects, by the way. So this is 3 sound effects for our 3 members. Bruh. They just all came at once there. The next actual question comes from Haldork Cosmico. Does the location of your subscribers affect the speed and promotion of your videos?
Well, I would say language is probably the most important aspect there. For example, we have a channel dedicated to vidIQ, but in Spanish. And so the majority of the viewers over in that channel speak Spanish. So location has something to do with it, but it's mostly a language thing. But I've never heard YouTube or anybody else suggest that, oh, you uploaded your video in, Canada? Well, no one in the US is going to see that. You got to use a VPN and upload it from a US server. Like that. That's not anything I've ever heard.
Correct. Yeah. And remember as well that subscribers contribute a fairly low amount of total views to your videos. So it doesn't really affect the spread and promotion of your videos. And I guess the question is, how do you change that? Are you gonna move to a different country and hope that makes a difference? It won't make any difference in that sense. Your videos will appeal to the audience you've designed those videos for. And so wherever you're doing it in the world, wherever your subscribers come from, ultimately it's a video that's going to decide the audience and their location. Mm-hmm. Another question here. So these aren't super chats, are they? They're just starred questions, okay? So youth history, is AI really bad for videos?
This could be a podcast.
Dan, can you give me your like 1 minute response to this?
I think it's a credibility thing. I think, like I said earlier, you can use AI to assist in the process. If you're trying to dupe anybody, people will notice very quickly. If you're trying to say, oh, I'm that, like, I want to say History Channel, but that we saw History Channel doing it, in my opinion, better than others. But there are channels that say, oh, I'm a History Channel, and it's all AI images, which means they're not historically accurate. So it depends on how you package the content. It depends on so many factors. But ultimately, I think it comes down to trust. Can people see your content and trust you, even if you're using those tools?
Viewers are not stupid, and they're being bombarded with AI content at the moment. And they're going to get more and more sensitive to what is good AI content and what is bad AI content. And I think the ratio at the moment is probably like 98-2 in terms of 98% of the AI content is dreadful and 2% of it is actually really good. So you have to find your way into that 2%. But that then means it requires a lot of human intervention into our AI content. Like it's got to be a collaboration rather than just complete automation, in my opinion. Next question from James. What percentage of viewers versus swipe away allows a short to go viral? It's one of those classic cases where you're trying to find a magic YouTube number for something, and it varies a lot. However, if you were to ask me for my opinion, I'm going to say anything above 90% gives you a chance, I would say. Dan, do you want to offer any more, or are you going to play defensively and say, I'm not giving you a number?
90%. I feel like I've had shorts go pretty viral with less than 90%.
So maybe I'm wrong. Yeah.
But I got to look now. Now I kind of want to look at my stats before I commit to that. I'm
going to have a look at one. So I'm going to just have a look at one video that performed a little better in terms of shorts recently. Let's just get this so that we can actually see the shorts that are public. This one was a story that I told, and it's, as you can see, it's performed pretty well, 82%. So that's not bad. It's not bad, I think, in my opinion. However, we do have some viral shorts that have got millions of views, so let's check them.
I have one with over 2 million views with a 72.8% viewed.
Okay, so maybe that isn't the deciding factor. There's one here with 1.65 million that has a swipe rate of 68%, so not that much. But again, this could be similar to click-through rate in that the more people who watch it, the more it's going to be tested with a larger audience, which then reduces the swipe-through rates because it's a broader audience. So maybe we don't have an answer for you there.
Yeah.
And the last one is the super chats. Sorry, Dan, I'll come back to you in a second.
No, go ahead.
The thumbnail designer. Yes, we launched a thumbnail designer tool. We're pretty excited about that. But we are getting a lot of feedback, and this includes Street Beef's Scrapyard. I would like to have an option of uploading an image or thumbnail and having a new thumbnail made from that image. So it's kind of like remixing an uploaded thumbnail. Interesting suggestion. We will definitely pass that on to the developers.
Mm-hmm. There's still a lot of development and things we want to do with that tool, so stay tuned.
Lovely stuff. All right, so we now will pick from 200 entrants the first channel to be audited here. And I'm realizing, Dan, we won't actually be able to get a question from these people. So we're just going to have to do like a classic audit of Doffen. If we can find you, of course, that's the disclaimer. If this is a common name, which I don't think it is, we found you straight away. Good work. Good work.
Hi.
All right, so you're approaching 2,000 subscribers. You are definitely a World of Warcraft channel, because I can see that in the little logo in the thumbnails. You have an outlier here.
The universe wants me to play this game again, man. It's just I cannot escape it right now. So many people I follow are playing because like there's this hardcore thing going on and classic, and oh my goodness. So I think War Within is the newest expansion or the upcoming expansion for World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
And they are covering, it looks like just patches and updates. So they're just kind of like sticking to the most current thing going on.
Well, I think these two outliers are information on the updates, and then things in between are, I'm not sure what they are from the packaging.
It's story time from Siren Island. I feel like they're a bit nuanced. I think you would have to click on them to understand them, which is going to be a point against the channel in the sense that if we
I'm going
don't
to do
know
that
what
then, Dan.
it is, I've played World of Warcraft. Like, I should know what this is.
Hey, what's the good news?
The siren crystal. It was
Oh, they're actually doing a mission
this
then.
morning, like a pot banging in my head. Still, it gave me some ideas.
So I see. It's kind of like the Last of Us channel we saw earlier. I think,
Yeah,
kind of taking stories that were put in the game and showing them to people. But that's not clear in the title or the thumbnail. We really had to like get in there and understand the content and watch for several seconds. So how can you do a better job of making it more clear to me as a new viewer what that is? I like that you're doing different content buckets. You got your update videos and then you have these lore videos. So I think you should maybe add your voice to those and then change the pitch of the video. Like something about that story is what it's impressive. It's the best hidden story you've never heard before. I don't know. Like there's probably a way to pitch that video. So at the very least, when I see the title and thumbnail, I know what I'm looking at.
I'll just want to check the first 20 seconds of this one. Oh, is this a voiceless channel then? They only do... let me just click forward. Well, that's a lot of hit points, that 100,000. It almost makes a mockery of having points show up if you're going to
it gets a little ridiculous.
Cause 100,000 points worth of damage. So
I will say the most difficult thing, I think the most difficult thing for this creator to probably hear, and they have a video with 41,000 views. This is not like a blanket statement necessarily. It's hard to compete though if you're covering gaming news and you're not putting your voice in it and you're making me do the extra work of having to read captions and things like that. Yeah. I'm not saying that can't work. Obviously it can sometimes, but I wonder if you'd be more consistent if we opened up a microphone and, gave your opinion and your feedback on what was going on.
They've been making videos for a while and previously Overwatch channel. So they have successfully transitioned out of Overwatch, given that they were getting hundreds of thousands of views. Wow, that one's only 2 months ago. Is that
like how John's head pops in his profile picture? It's kind of funny.
Is that a World of Warcraft? I'm guessing it is.
I think so. A War Within. Yeah, that's World of Warcraft.
So yeah, like some big outliers here. You are right, Dan, in terms of like their big bucket here is the tutorial type of stuff, whether it be patches or like almost like if you remember 100% Zelda, when they did like big coverage of all of the fruit in Zelda.
Yeah,
and like doing all of the
experiments and
yeah. And then I guess they have videos that are for them. Or like, are these videos for you? These ones that have very short, small amounts of views. They could be getting in the way of your audience build-up. And like, then you just go completely left field with Horizon Zero Dawn. That just comes out of nowhere. And the audience kind of let you know that we're not really interested. I mean, when you get 600 views, then 60 views, and then 40,000 views, there's an audience mismatch somewhere there.
Yeah. It's cool to see. Like, their outliers are very impressive. Like John said, there is value being offered on that channel. It's just spiky. It's spiky, and I think there's more clarity that can be added to some of the titles and thumbnails.
Cinematic Destruction, the 117th channel to have this name. Maybe I don't know. I have found them. They have 5 subscribers. They have only shorts. Okay, so I think, Dan, just from looking at the thumbnails, they crush aluminium cans.
I guess so.
Let's try one of these. Oh, I don't think there's any sound.
Oh. So I guess it's supposed to be like a satisfying, and it's looping too.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be kind of like a look at all the ways I can crush cans.
That was it's kind of visually interesting.
Yeah.
Let me just try another one.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, I've got it muted.
Say,
User error. User error. All right, let's try again, shall we? Let's go to the beginning.
That's fun.
I think this is looped and I haven't even realized it.
I think they could experiment with different angles and different like speeds as well.
You know, when they say there's an audience for everything on YouTube, we've just found sitting on a can. There's an audience for that. Why is it? I don't know why it's muted. I guess the one thing then that the creator will probably need to invest in is whatever smartphone camera has the highest frames per second. Like I know some Samsung cameras can do 960 frames per second.
Yeah.
It might be worth experimenting on one of them. I think there are others that do 240 frames per second, so it might be even slower. But I don't know, maybe Dan, this pace, which is maybe 120 frames per second, is actually the right speed to keep a viewer visually satisfied by this content.
Yeah, they could experiment with all kinds of stuff, but I think, production-wise, that's what I'd be looking at. The lighting's good. I would be changing the speeds. I would be doing different angles, especially like, you know, when the rock breaks, it's kind of cool to see like the debris go flying everywhere. You need the can to be empty to crush it, but what if you had like something else inside the can to like have more of a, you know, it's obvious, like confetti or something obvious that you put in there, but just for visual, like, ooh, I don't know. There's you could experiment in all sorts of ways, and I think they were just getting started, honestly.
I don't know why, but I see these videos more on Reddit, Dan. But have you ever seen the videos where people play a game which has like different gravity levels, and they drop something onto the car, and so they do Earth gravity, and then they do like Jupiter gravity, or like a bus goes off a ramp and it has different gravity, and like the one with the sun, it just like instantly crushes immediately. I don't know if there's any way to have that kind of gravity defying aspect to these shorts. That might be something.
Yeah, do you know how to, if you know how to break the laws of physics, I think you can get extra views here.
All right, Dan. All right. I just couldn't think of a way to add that thought into this video. But hey, these shorts from the off are all getting hundreds of views. It's a start. It's a start. I think this creator needs to make another 100 shorts, kind of in a similar vein, and continue to just iterate on different ideas as and when they can. I tell you what, one thought I was thinking of is, could you make it so that you you crush a can with your foot, but then when you put it in reverse, it's a different can. Like, so you crush that and then you lift it up, but it's actually a different can.
That'd be interesting.
That might be like something that's visually cool as well. Let's draw another channel, shall we?
Or it's a glass bottle.
Yeah. MuscularChicken. This has to be a gaming channel, right? Come on. Surely this is a gaming channel.
It has to be.
They have 2,000 subscribers.
Roblox.
What is this? You've got 10 more minutes of stream.
They're not doing that yet. It's an upcoming live stream.
Yeah, well, what is that? If somebody subscribes, then the stream carries on for 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Fine. Whatever. If you want to do that.
Do a subathon. Good luck.
All right. Roblox shaders. That's got 4,000 views. Interesting. So I guess Roblox Doors is another one of these mods. Looks very different to the typical type of Roblox, though. Very dark and moody.
Looks like it could be a horror game in Roblox.
Yeah.
Floor 2.
This is a niche. I just want to establish. Okay, so this is a niche in itself.
Mm-hmm.
A very trending niche as well at the moment. Yeah, this is why people are making content. If you look at how quickly this content is being recycled, hours occasionally days, but mostly very new content on the search term.
Mm-hmm. So excellent topic for you. So here's why I think that video over on the right has outlier stuff going on there. It's because it says plus ending in the title, in my opinion. I think because this is when the game like ends, people are watching that video more than the stuff in the middle, because it's going to represent, I think, a more complete feeling experience. So it tells me that there's an opportunity to potentially take all of your playthrough videos and do.
They have done. I think that's it right there.
Never mind.
I think it is.
Full walkthrough. That's exactly what I was going to say. Excellent. I missed it because the thumbnail's really dark. That might be another thing to work on. I get that it's a dark game, but the thumbnails we saw for it before still looked like you could see what was going on.
The thumbnails are too text dominated, like the bright white text versus a very dark screenshots, which then just blend them into the background, means that all I'm seeing here really is the text. I have to be honest. And as you said, Dan, if we just do a quick search here.
Yeah, that one's really bright.
There are ways to make this game work.
Now, in my experience, the full playthrough like strategy where you take all your videos and lump into one giant video can work. Sometimes it takes a while too. That one's been up for 2 months, so I would be looking at like a new thumbnail by now. But sometimes it could take a long time for those to kind of pick up traction. But yeah, I think that was like a good call. Title.
Oh, well observed as well, Dan. The cadence has really dropped in terms of output. 2 months ago, they were making maybe a video every week, and they've only made one video since.
It looks like the Doors is still trending though. So I wonder if they feel like, well, I finished it. Maybe can you play it a different way? I don't know this game, so that's the problem. Like I can't give you like tangible suggestions. But if there's any way you could continue on the trend, it seemed like it was working. And I don't think you should do this forever. But Roblox is nice because it's unique in that you can jump from game to game a little more easily because you're still in the multiverse that is Roblox. So I don't know. I would be thinking about if possible, can you continue on the trend somehow? Or are there other trending horror games that you could maybe look at?
That was the MuscularChicken. Next, we're going to see the flexing parrot.
Real quick, we got a new member.
Oh, right. Hey, let's give him a sound effect. Welcome to Windows.
I panned aside. Thank you for... Oh, DIY. Thank you for becoming a member. I missed the DIY part in their name.
All right. Are we not going to be able to find this channel? Is that them? Yes, it is. We have found... Oh, I keep forgetting we can actually get these directly from the channel, the live stream, can't we?
Oh, yeah. That's the thing.
I'm forgetting we can do this now.
We have to find them in chat, though.
All right. So 1,000 subscribers. They must be mainly a short channel because this is one video from a year ago. So here we are. Minecraft Logic.
Okay. I guess we just have to watch.
Minecraft Earth banner, Techno Blade and Dream banner. Okay, let's try one of these banner ones. I'll do this one. Music that is probably copyrighted, so I need to just really tone down that music.
Yeah, I'd probably turn that off because it's not going to be any commentary. So
yeah, no commentary.
For anyone who doesn't know, banners in Minecraft are pretty complex. You could do some really cool things with them, but making them, as you can see in that little screen there, is just challenging. It's hard to make a design, but you can do almost anything if you know what you're doing. So that's what they're doing here, and I think this is a really interesting way to do a short, because it's like a, you know, for Minecraft, finding that niche within the niche within the niche is a growth strategy. They're getting thousands of views on these when they make banners. So the cooler the banner looks, like that no smoking one's amazing. The cooler banner looks, the more you're going to have in terms of views.
And so this is essentially a mix-up inventory that then creates a banner, or am I completely misinterpreting how this works?
What you do is you take the banner, you choose different shape templates on the left there, and you use different dyes to add different colors. And so basically it's like that line in the middle, that was like one of the shapes they could do, and they just made it red. So it's just difficult. It's like a really, once you understand what you're doing, like any design kind of like tool, people watch because like, wow, that's so impressive, because that's a very challenging design tool to use.
So that's one idea. Let's try. I want to do one of his Minecraft logic ones because I might be able to understand that a bit more. More copyright music. So this is all visual storytelling. We're not getting any help from the audio. They're just using sounds, popular sounds on YouTube, which is an identified strategy. Like nothing wrong with doing that. But what are we? I wasn't really paying attention there, Dan. So they're firing arrows at.
They're showing the irony of Minecraft's logic. Like, depending on what you do in the game, certain things, it just doesn't make sense. So this skeleton, for example, because it's sunny out, will burn to death. However, if you have a block over the skeleton, that acts as a roof and it protects the skeleton from burning to death. So they're just kind of showing the irony of like, why does that work? Even though the sun is at a different angle completely, it's not. The skeleton's protected from the sun from the block way up there. Why are signs? You can shoot through signs, but not doors with holes in them.
Okay,
stuff
right,
like that.
Yeah, right. Okay. So I think these this is what, like, again, trying to expose a very popular game with weird kind of minor glitches and stuff, which is not a bad idea.
They're doing a lot of really creative stuff within some limitations. They're using music and stuff. They're not using their voice. And like you said, visual storytelling is what's going on. These shorts are doing fantastic, especially like for the channel's size.
So what can we suggest? What might be another idea or approach?
I said this to a friend the other day. I was very impressed with myself. I think this advice could apply to anybody. Okay. I'm very proud of myself for this. I mean it. Just hear me out. So when
I'm gonna want to put pressure on you now. Let's bring you full screen then.
But I'm trying to relax. When your channel is doing well, when things are going good for you, that is the time where you should be thinking about your future strategy, right? In this case, for the creator we're just looking at, the content buckets in the future. So right now they're doing banners and they're doing ironic things. They're getting good views. They probably feel pretty good. And when you feel good, that's the best time to have even more inspiration and ideas come to you. Right. When you're desperate and things get bad, that is the worst time to be trying to think of new and exciting, inventive things. So my advice to anyone is just enjoy the ride. Like, especially while times are good, you're going to have peaks and troughs on YouTube all the time. We do. Everybody does. And it's when you're at your peak is probably when you're least likely to think about, oh, I should come up with some new ideas for the future when things get crappy again. But it's when you're probably most, creative because you're just feeling so great about the state of your channel.
I picked another winner in the background. They were Malyx. That's how I'm pronouncing it. And that's not the channel. That's our analytics. This is the channel with 164 subscribers. They have both they've managed to publish a video while watching this live stream. They are posting a lot of videos. It's 3 in the last 20. Whoa, hang on. 5 videos in the last 2 days.
Okay.
So there's Fortnite, there's Roblox. There's a bit more Fortnite. I don't know what that is.
Oh.
Okay, they're not getting many views. I'm just going to click on one and see kind of what we're getting ourselves into.
Hey guys, today we're going to be teaching my brother how to combo. Where are you?
Whoa, right, that's a loud noise. So I feel as if this is run and gun, like literally record something and then just upload it immediately. Add a thumbnail. Let's see what happens.
I think they're getting their YouTube reps in. I think those early stages of the journey are important where you're just kind of making stuff and putting it out as fast as you can. When you're coming to us and saying, like, what can I do to grow? I would try to consider just like your ideas and stuff. There will come a point where you should probably slow down your upload pace so that you can work longer on one really awesome idea instead of just kind of like spitballing everything you possibly can all at once, or shotgun approach of just like videos go now. You're going to learn a lot doing stuff like this, but you should really take those lessons and apply them at a certain point.
At the moment, your titles aren't really trying to appeal to an audience with intrigue, like playing with a friend, basically. And then there are other titles that don't really explain enough, just a simple win. I need more context than that. how was it a simple win, or why was it a simple win? Something needs to be teased there. The one that is intriguing a little bit is why this Fortnite weapon is underrated. So I'm going to click on this just to see what the hook is like.
Huh?
Yo,
Yeah,
what's up, gamers? Welcome back to the channel. Ninja here, and today we're diving deep.
That's completely thrown me.
So
I don't understand that.
Is that someone else's video? Because that's a different voice. That was a different name.
Yeah.
See how it stacks up in different scenarios.
Story blocks.
Give you the tips and
I mean, if this was trying to be ironic, and that you have like as many watermarks as possible, there's one in the top right-hand corner, there's one down here. That might be funny if the entire channel was kind of like that. Like, I know the Spiffing Brit kind of has these fake watermarks on his content, but this seems just really odd.
Yeah. And I've noticed the thumbnails are of varying degrees of quality. Like some of them, like they came from other channels. So
Yeah.
I will just say, make sure you are using your content. Don't take content from other people that you don't have permission to use. That is like just general advice. I'm only suggesting that might be going on because of how different some of these thumbnails look to me. But I don't know. Exactly.
My suggestion would be is you joined YouTube 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You already have this amount of content. I think it's now you've done the reps of like from starting a video to making it public on YouTube. Let's just slow down a little bit now. Usually I'm telling people to increase their cadence. I think for this creator, let's try and limit yourself to one video a day. You probably, maybe you want to limit yourself to maybe 2 or 3 videos a week at the moment, but let's just spend a lot longer on each of these videos, especially the thumbnail side of this and perhaps the titling aspects of it, the packaging.
Real quick, let's talk about this. I'm just really bad at thumbnails. And again, I don't know where your thumbnails are coming from in that case, but let's just say this. If you are doing YouTube and you feel like I'm really bad at something, like for example, you're all here in this live stream because you want to grow your channels, right? So maybe some of you feel like I'm really bad at growing my channel. We sometimes give you thumbnail tips and stuff, but what we can't do is sit down in Photoshop or whatever software you prefer to use and take you step by step, right? But there are channels that do that. And so instead of uploading 7 videos a day, you should sit down and like go, okay, today I want to get better at thumbnails. Pick a software, then watch some tutorials on it so you can get better at aspects of making a thumbnail. And that's how you improve incrementally. You watch vidIQ for certain growth aspects. You watch the thumbnail person for thumbnail aspects of your growth journey. You watch the video editing person to get better at video editing. You can't improve it on YouTube by just like uploading constantly, but never like trying to learn new skills. YouTube is, when you're a one-person show, that takes so much effort and so many skill sets that you need to develop over time. So that would be my suggestion. If you're telling us I'm terrible at thumbnails, great. That's actually a really good place to start, because if you're feeling like I wish I was better at this, then you should take the time to get better. That's why Rob suggested 1 video a day instead of 12, because you can use that extra time to learn a thing or two about thumbnails, and then that one video you put out is going to have a better thumbnail than the last one, and it could get more views.
Thank you, Vicky, for the reminder here that we do thumbnail audits tomorrow. And John also just put out a video yesterday tackling all of the most popular questions around thumbnails. So we've got a lot of content out on that at the moment. One more question did just come in. Tangent, what tips would you like to give a YouTuber about uploading their first video? Have you been spying on me? Because for the last 5 days... I have been making a video on that very topic, and it is due to come out, I think, a week on Friday. It's something like the beginner's guide to uploading a video to YouTube in 2025. So do tune in for that video when it comes out. The long and short of it is, though, a lot of the stuff in the upload process contributes 1 or 2% to the performance of a video. What you want to focus on is the title and the thumbnail. And those are things that come long before the actual upload process. That's a TLDR of a video. So you don't need to watch it now. I've just now wasted 5 days of my time because no one's going to watch it because I've just given them the answer. Dan, I think that brings us to the end of this session of channel audits. And as I say, I didn't lose all of my enthusiasm and passion after the POV channel. Like I said, I'd got like 3 years. It reduced itself down to, I think, 6 weeks. So okay. I'm still fresh,
a little bite,
passionate about channel audits until the end of the year, and then we'll see what happens.
I get it. Yeah, just a little bite taken out of your timeline there. Which was okay. That's all right. That's it could have been worse.
Thank you, everybody, as always, for tuning in. We will be back next week. No, actually, I will be back next week with a guest host for channel audits, but you also have a thumbnail audits tomorrow. We have all sorts of stuff. And we do have some very interesting Black Friday and Cyber Monday offers coming up. So make sure you've signed up to vidIQ, you're subscribed or whatever, to make sure that you get notified of those deals that are just around the corner. Everybody's saying thank you. Dan, say thank you.
Thank you.
And we can now end the stream. Wave awkwardly